Imagine waking up each morning knowing you are responsible for an empire. Armies are fighting wars on distant borders. Political enemies surround you. A deadly plague spreads through your cities. Every decision you make affects thousands of lives. And yet before doing anything else, you sit quietly and write reminders to yourself about how to live well. That was the habit of Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius ruled the Roman Empire nearly 2,000 years ago. But today he is remembered not just as an emperor, but as one of history's greatest philosophers. His personal journal, later published as a book called Meditations, contains reflections he wrote only for himself. They were reminders about how to stay calm, disciplined, and thoughtful in a chaotic world. Today we will explore 10 life lessons from Marcus Aurelius that are just as relevant now as they were in ancient Rome. Lesson 1. You control your mind, not outside events. Marcus Aurelius believed that much of our suffering comes from how we interpret what happens to us. Traffic, criticism, delays, bad news. These things are unavoidable, but our reaction is always within our control. When something difficult happens, we can react with anger and frustration, or we can pause and decide how we want to respond. Learning to control your thoughts instead of trying to control the world is one of the most powerful skills a person can develop. Lesson 2. Expect to meet difficult people. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every morning that he would encounter rude, dishonest, or selfish people. Not because he was pessimistic, but because preparation creates patience. When you expect everyone to behave perfectly, you are constantly disappointed. But when you accept that difficult behavior is part of life, it stops surprising you. Preparation helps you stay calm. Lesson 3. Your time is limited. Marcus Aurelius frequently reflected on how short life is. He reminded himself that every day could be his last. This was not meant to be depressing. It was meant to create clarity. When you remember that your time is limited, trivial concerns begin to fade. Petty arguments lose importance. Small annoyances stop dominating your thoughts. You begin focusing on what truly matters. Lesson 4. Focus on the task in front of you. Marcus Aurelius believed that much anxiety comes from thinking too far ahead. We worry about things that may never happen. Instead, he advised focusing only on the work immediately in front of you. Handle the present task carefully and honestly. Then move on to the next one. Progress often comes from simply doing the next right thing. Lesson 5. Character matters more than reputation. Marcus Aurelius lived in a world full of politics and public judgment. But he constantly reminded himself that what others think about you is less important than the kind of person you actually are. Reputation depends on other people. Character depends on your choices. You cannot control rumors, opinions, or misunderstandings. But you can control whether you act with integrity. Lesson 6. Obstacles can make you stronger. Marcus Aurelius believed that challenges are not interruptions to life. In many ways, they are life itself. Every obstacle forces you to adapt, learn, and develop new abilities. Difficulty tests your patience and resilience. Without challenges, many of our strengths would never develop. Sometimes the obstacle is exactly what helps you grow. Lesson 7. Stop worrying about what others are doing. Marcus Aurelius frequently warned against spending too much energy judging the actions of others. It is easy to become distracted by what other people say, think, or believe. But in the end, you cannot control any of that. A better question is this: am I doing the right thing? Focusing on your own actions brings clarity. Lesson 8. Kindness is a strength. Marcus Aurelius believed kindness was a natural part of human nature. Many people assume that kindness makes someone weak. But in reality, kindness requires patience, self-control, and understanding. Even when surrounded by power and authority, Marcus Aurelius tried to treat others fairly and respectfully. Often a calm and respectful response is more powerful than anger. Lesson 9. Do not become attached to possessions. As emperor, Marcus Aurelius had access to immense wealth and status. Yet he repeatedly reminded himself that these things are temporary. Wealth changes hands. Titles fade. Power disappears. If your happiness depends on external things, your peace of mind will always be unstable. The qualities that matter most are internal: wisdom, discipline, and integrity. Lesson 10. Accept the nature of life. The Stoic philosophy Marcus Aurelius followed taught that life includes change, loss, uncertainty, and difficulty. These are not mistakes in the system. They are part of the system. When we constantly resist reality, we create frustration. But when we accept that challenges and change are natural parts of life, we become stronger. Marcus Aurelius ruled during one of the most difficult periods in Roman history. Yet through his reflections, he created a philosophy centered on calm thinking, discipline, and perspective. And perhaps the most powerful message in his writings is this: the quality of your life depends greatly on the quality of your thoughts. Choose them carefully,